Hello and welcome to Recharge Wrestling. We're here to plug you in to the world of professional wrestling. I'm Fisher and I'm here as usual with Keeney.
Hi guys.
Krusty's not here tonight. He's got other plans. So just the two of us. We've recorded our WWE show. So if you've not watched that or listened to it yet, it's available on podcast format or here on our YouTube channel. Go and watch that. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff. Follow us on Twitter at Recharge Wrestle for more updates. But we're here to review this week's Blood and Guts, which took place last night. And we will also talk about Rampage, even though that happened before Forbidden Door, which also, if you haven't watched, go back and watch my Forbidden Door review.
Fisher solo pod.
Yeah, that's just me talking about that for about half an hour, the full review of that. But we will talk about stuff from Rampage that's not really related to that. And obviously Blood and Guts, which is the big show this week. So let's crack on with it. So Rampage started with Andrade El Idolo versus Rey Fenix, which is not a bad way to start, is it?
No, I mean, amazing. I mean, yeah, it's just, just a brilliant match. AEW, you can give them all the criticism you want in the world, but they produce brilliant matches all the time.
That's one thing you know you're going to get, even if you're not into the stories, even if sometimes there's some big stars missing or whatever. The standard of the wrestling is so high.
Yeah, and these two, we know how good these two are. These are two of the best. I mean, I say that flippantly. There's I could say that about 20 of the members of the roster, but these two are genuinely right up there. Superb match.
Yeah, bit chaotic near the end, but really
good.
it
was a bit chaotic towards the end. Yeah, but Andrade got the win with some interference from Roosh.
Yeah.
Roosh.
It's spelled Rush, but it's pronounced Roosh.
Yeah, so I'm reading his name as Rush, but it's Roosh.
It is Roosh, yeah.
He hit a low blow on Phoenix, and then Andrade used his spike.
DDT. There's a bit before that as well, where he tried passing the tablet. Yeah, Jose passed. They always use this tablet as a weird weapon.
Assistant, yeah.
Jose, the assistant, uses that behind the ref. There's an eye poke as well. And then they did your favourite spot after the match, Kenny, with the removal of the mask again.
Poor Rey Fenix can't keep his mask on, can he? Poor guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's so overdone. I've said it so many times, and I have to keep saying it because it keeps happening. It's so overdone. Just leave it alone. You don't need to take his mask off every time.
No, it isn't overdone, but it was a really, really good match, fun TV match. Like, thing is, it's the weekend before. This is like this day before the pay-per-view. Neither of these two are on the card, so they just bang out a random
absolutely
random banger on TV. Like, that's what you want, really. When you're not on the pay-per-view, at least give them a really good TV match the day before. So yeah, that served its purpose, definitely, didn't it?
Yeah, I agree. And also I want to mention the main event of Rampage. Jeff Cobb and Cash Wheeler. So I know this kind of did bleed into
the pay-per-view
to Forbidden Door, but a really good match. We haven't seen much of Cash Wheeler singles. We've seen Dax Harwood quite a few times.
Lot, yeah.
But I thought he was really good. Not quite as good as Dax, I will say that, but I thought he was good. But Jeff Cobb got the win with a finisher called Tour of the Islands.
That's it. Yeah, it's like a big power slam type thing. But he's impressed me on AEW when he's been on there.
He has. We've seen him before, haven't we? He was in way before the New Japan.
Yeah. He came in a while ago.
Wasn't he? MJF brought him in to like
it might have been
destroy
MJF.
Jericho in that or something. What have I don't know.
It might have been. Yeah,
I think MJF
he was a while ago, so I can't really remember. But
yeah, he was. But I just thought I'd mention this as a good match, and this. I mean, we'll maybe mention it a bit later on, but FTR, and I say it, we mention this every week, I think, but FTR are in an absolute golden period at the moment where everything they touch turns to gold, and singles matches, tag matches, everything they do is amazing, and they're getting proper good reactions from the crowds, better than they've ever got, I think, from any crowds, FTR right now.
Definitely.
They're so over. And yeah, just quite like, Dax has had a lot of singles, moments over the last few weeks, but nice to see Cash get one here as well, even though he lost. I thought he still looked good. I mean, Dax hasn't won all of his. He lost to Cole.
Yeah, I don't mind
them
them losing fingers as well. They won the titles at the pay-per-view as a team, which is what you wanted them to do. So, yeah. The rest of the show, there wasn't much to it, but there was a couple of little things to mention. So Hook had a match, which is always nice. We all love Hook.
Yeah, the
quick
DKC
tap out match against the DKC. Quick tap out. Tully Blanchard was back with his Enterprises and a return of Bryan Cage, who I haven't seen in a long time in AEW. Thought he was going to leave, hasn't. And then there's other people there as well. They confronted Jonathan Gresham. So I think we're getting this is setting up a Ring of Honor program. So I think Bryan Cage might be used in Ring of Honor going forward.
Yeah, that's probably right.
And because they've got a pay-per-view coming up as well in about a month, which was mentioned
Jonathan
as well.
Gresham and Lee Moriarty.
Yeah.
Lee Moriarty gets thrown about, doesn't he, with different people? He's been with a few people, Lee Moriarty. I lose track of who he's with.
Yeah, Dante Martin, people like that.
Yeah, he was with
He's been in a fair few tag matches and
so he's with Gresham now apparently. So yeah, probably more Ring of Honor focused here.
And then there was also Serena Deeb and Mercedes Martinez teaming up.
A weird team, isn't it?
But then they were kind of annoyed with each other afterwards. Serena with a little shove because there was a little mishap during the match.
Yeah, but they both got their submission holds in.
We're going to get them feuding against each other, I guess, at some point.
Yeah, I think Martinez will be another one. It's probably more Ring of Honor. Would you say?
Yeah, she is. She's the champion, isn't she?
Is she Ring of Honor champion?
I think she's the Ring of Honor champion. So yeah.
She is. Yeah, she is. Sorry,
there, but So yeah, Mercedes. I feel like they're using Rampage to set up quite a lot of Ring of Honor stuff, which is fine. Yeah, whereas Dynamite's more the main central AEW focus. Although there was the promo from Dynamite when we get to it a minute ago from Jay Lethal, wasn't there, on Samoa Joe trying to get the match there. So I think that's going to be the main event of that. Well, maybe not the main event, but a main event. Joe versus Jay Lethal.
Yeah. Yeah. So should we move on to Blood and Guts?
Yeah, let's move on to Blood and Guts.
I mean, do we just go straight into it and we'll talk about the rest of the show afterwards? Because
should we go on to let's go on to the main event because that was the big thing, and we'll quickly go through the rest of the show because this took up. I think it was 55 minutes of the show.
Yeah,
and it was bonkers. There was so much happened in it. First of all, to notice, I mean, Jericho and his gang's outfits. I thought the Backstreet Boys had come back again. It was mad. That was interesting to start with. And obviously you had the heels having the advantage in the match.
They kind of have to, really. I think it's the only way this match works.
Yeah, it
gives the heels the advantage.
Absolutely. So you had Claudio, of course, come out to start it with Sammy Guevara. And then one by one, obviously with Jericho Appreciation Society guys first, they all get into the ring. But it was a bonkers match.
Yeah, it was.
And it's by the way, and it is my top mark.
Yeah, this is Fisher's top mark. If you listen to our WWE one, it's his top mark from the wrestling week. One nice touch before we get into the match itself is Regal on commentary. I quite liked.
I love him every week on comments. It's always really good.
He's brilliant. And just a few times he was quiet, and then like, are you a bit quiet? He's like, yeah, of course I'm quiet. My guys are getting beaten up. He's like, excuse me for being quiet. I just think he's brilliant. Really good. But yeah, we had Garcia, Yuta, Hager. I don't know if I haven't got the full list of people coming in. Parker, there's all sorts. They all came in one by one. But obviously the match doesn't start until
everyone's in.
12 are in.
I kept thinking because I thought it was 5-on-5 because it was last time, I think.
Yeah.
But this was 6-on-6. So I was thinking, hang on, because I thought one of Santana and Ortiz wasn't in the match, and I thought one of Parker and Martel. Is it Martel?
I have no idea what their names are.
What's that? They've changed the names.
Angelo something.
Angelo Parker.
Oh, is that?
I thought one of those
Parker?
Two wasn't going to be in the match or something, and then I realised it was actually 6-on-6. But yeah, there was a lot of people in that ring. It was mad. One thing early on that happened that was cool was the stare down between the former tag team partners, Jake Hager and Claudio.
We the people.
They got a chant and everything. A We the people chant. Never have thought you'd hear
I didn't even cross them on until they
I saw someone mention it the other day after Claudio. I saw it on Twitter saying, "Oh my god, we're going to get them two against each other, which is weird. But I forgot about it, and then when it happened, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that
An old
was quite a
WWE
cool
team.
one.
Cool moment. Yeah.
I mean, I know you mentioned it on your Forbidden Door reaction video, but I thought really happy for Claudio to be getting this reaction.
Yeah.
Cesaro, I mean, that's another point from this match is there was 3 times they said the wrong name.
Oh, throughout this show.
And it was different people.
Yeah,
it
was Bryan, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and Ruby Riott.
Yeah, Regal said Daniel Bryan. Shivani, I think, said Cesaro. And then Taz. Was it JR? And then Taz said Ruby Riott.
Yeah, I was surprised at Taz. Taz doesn't often do that.
Yeah, they got
JR does it all the time.
Place. I think you can excuse all 3 of them. It's just one of those things. Like, it's not that big a deal, I guess. But it's that's something that wouldn't happen on WWE TV. Like, you'll never catch Michael Cole calling Gunter Walter. It just wouldn't happen because they're so hot on that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, one other before we get into the actual points of the match was Moxley wasn't out last. Well, I thought he might be. Yeah, because he's the AEW champion. I thought they might,
I thought Moxley and Jericho were like the leaders of the team.
Yeah, but Kingston was the last.
I know the big feud really is between Jericho and Kingston, so I kind of got it. But I was a little bit surprised as well. I was expecting Mox to be last.
Well, even compared, the finish didn't involve Moxley at all. He was just in the ring doing nothing.
No, and I do have my criticisms of the finish, but we'll get to that when we get to the finish. I thought it was. I'm giving it my top mark, by the way. So before I think, it's negative.
No,
it's just one little thing about it that bugged me, and I'm sure you're going to think the same thing.
Probably, yeah. I mean, the thing about these matches, because this isn't, we've seen Blood and Guts, we've seen War Games, it's the same thing. Is what they are? It's just absolute chaos and carnage. Probably more so in AEW because they have a Hell in a Cell type structure rather than a steel cage.
They're allowed to bleed and things like that, which you just don't get in WWE.
In WWE and NXT, they have pinfall can end the match, whereas here it's not no pinfall. It's submission or quit. That's the only way to finish one of these matches. So it is a bit more brutal in AEW.
Yeah,
you'd probably expect. I mean, the amount of blood is insane, but fully expected. There's one point where I can't remember who Moxley was. He was sticking things into someone's head.
It was he had like these spikes and
he had like some proper like wooden spikes and shoving them into it's like he was actually hanging out of their head. It looked brutal. I was like, Jesus Christ. Some just absolute brutal. And there was a point where Jericho was dragging Moxley across all the thumbtacks.
Oh yeah,
that one looked brutal.
Yeah.
One of the
broken glass at one point as well.
Yeah, broken.
Mox did a pile driver on Matt Menard. That's his name.
Menard. Was it Menard who was also hung upside down, covered in blood as it went into an advert break, which was quite a cool.
Yeah, that was a cool visual, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was quite enjoyed that.
I loved Eddie Kingston coming in. When he came in, he had kendo sticks, but he was using them so casually. He was just getting past people, like doing this. Like he wasn't swinging them. He was just going, move out of the way, move out of the way. And then he was going after Jericho, who was trying to hide, realized he had nowhere to go, and then he got. But that was really good as well. But it was crazy. There was so many. There's probably bits I've missed that I've not written down. I've written down a lot of spots.
It's hard to get them all down. Yeah. I mean, and then we move on. Before we, there's probably, like I say, there's probably more bits, but we go onto the top of the cage. Of course, we go on the top of the cage, and of course, we have the pushing off the cell.
Yeah, that was a big spot on Sammy. That was cool.
Which happens, and Sammy's probably the guy to take it.
Yeah, as soon as he went up there, because it was the other two who were up there straight away, weren't they? It was Kingston and Jericho.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, is one of these getting thrown off? Because we saw Jericho do it once before, but they did a really soft landing one, didn't they, on Jericho? And I thought, he's not doing that again.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to be Kingston. As soon as Sammy went up there, I was like, Sammy's getting knocked off here.
I quite like Kingston's face. It was like a really like evil, like little smile he had. Yeah, really, but yeah, brilliant spot. And then should we go on to the finish? The double submission.
Yeah, so I liked the double submission. I liked them because obviously Menard got up there, didn't he? Yeah. And as soon as he got up there again, you're probably thinking, okay, he's probably tapping out here because those two guys, the former 2.0 guys in NXT, they're kind of the weak links in this match. Really, let's be honest.
Yeah,
they're not big stars really. They do their job really well, though.
How well have they done, by the way? They're in Blood and Guts main event and Dynamite.
They're main event in a massive match like this. They wouldn't have been doing that before. So credit to them, but they are still the weak links in this match when you've got people like Moxley, Claudio, Jericho in there. Exactly. It's a star-studded match.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of obvious, and Claudio made him tap, didn't he? What I didn't like about it, and
Claudio made Jericho tap, by the way. Can I just?
Did he?
According to the website.
Oh. Okay.
Claudio. Oh no, hang on.
I thought it was Menard because I thought it was Kingston on Jericho.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. The website have actually worded this wrong. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was.
What I didn't like about it is from the moment I went up to the cage onwards, is it was probably about 10 minutes, would you say?
Yeah.
They did not show what was happening in the ring once. And I just thought
the ring was irrelevant, yeah.
That needed to be a bit shorter because it just made it ridiculous. Like, where's Moxley? What's he doing? What's Claudio doing? I know he went up at the end, Claudio.
Yeah.
But like for ages, I was like, where are these guys? I know they're down. They've done a lot of damage to her. I can buy that. But it's silly. And the crowd in attendance, if you were there watching guys just lying around for 10 minutes, you'd be a bit like, come on. Or I know I would anyway, if I was watching it. And that was one thing that took me out of it a little bit. I didn't get why they didn't keep it shorter or show a little bit of what was going on in the ring in between.
Well, get all of them on top of the cage. Get everyone on top of the cage.
Yeah,
even if
I don't know if you can get everyone up there, but if you can,
there's 12 of them. Once what we actually missed was Cesaro's swing on top of the cage.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which was that was on Jericho.
One worrying thing as well that happened. Obviously, I wonder where he was at the end, Santana, because he didn't come out. He didn't come down with the rest of the guys to celebrate, and he was actually carried to the back with another injury. So that's another injury in wrestling, and especially in AEW at the moment. I mean, there seems to be so many.
They can't be surprised that a match like this is going to injure someone. The risk on this match is high.
I'm not sure what kind of injury it was, but I just know he was.
I was
taken out and carried.
I will say,
which is maybe why they didn't show the ring action. To be fair,
I don't think this is. Maybe it's harsh to label this AEW because WWE have a lot of injuries as well. So I think there is more to it than this. But AEW is
they push it to the limit.
Yeah, a lot of it is a spot fest, and they're doing spots for spot's sake, and you don't need to be putting yourself in that much danger on a regular basis. So they are getting a lot of injuries, and that's probably partly why. I think, here, I get this match obviously is what it is, but Santana being injured isn't a freak accident. It's a consequence.
No, I'm not sure. What spot
I don't know what his injury is.
I don't know if it was it might have been a normal wrestling spot. I have no idea, but it's not ideal.
But like I say, WWE have got loads of injuries themselves with Big E and Cody and Randy. So it's not just. It just seems to be a lot of injuries in general at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. For some reason, there's a bit of a curse at the moment. It seems like.
But yeah, I think it's a great top.
Some other things that happened in this match before we quickly move on. There was a cool spot powerbombing Hager through a table. Obviously, Ty Conti's involvement on the outside. That's why Ruby came down.
Ruby Soho came down. Yeah.
So she passed some rubbing alcohol through the cage. She also took the key off the ref and tried to open it, and that's when Ruby came down a bit randomly. But
so is that a new feud starting or?
Yeah, I don't know.
We have had Conti and Paige Van Zandt, haven't we? In a mixed tag.
Yeah, we've had that.
I was about to say, I remember Conti.
I haven't seen Paige Van Zandt since, I don't think. But yeah, so there's a couple of other cool things there, but I think we've basically covered our main thoughts on that match.
Yeah.
Again, there's going to be spots we miss on this, so apologies. I'm not doing a spot by spot thing. I wanted to watch the match. I didn't want to watch it.
You almost have to watch it
twice. It's very difficult to do. So, but it was really enjoyable. Really, really enjoyable match. Like I said, there's a couple of nitpicky things, but overall, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree, and I can go into my top mark of the week. Of the week wrestling. This obviously includes WWE as well. The top mark is not just AEW, but it comes from this show. And before I get into it, my top mark probably was Blood and Guts match, but Fisher's got that, so I had to. I thought there's something else that I've really enjoyed, and we mentioned this last week about Christian's promo, and I think you even said it's one of the most interesting things in wrestling currently. The Christian storyline. It seemed to really interesting, his turn and his promo last week, and then he had that thing with Luchasaurus at the end where he kind of spoke to him and they walked off, and I was like, that's interesting. And then it was announced that he would have a match this week, or he's requested a match this week. And he came out his interview with Shivani on the stage and was not dressed for wrestling. Again, laid into.
He said he wishes all of Jungle Boy's family were dead,
Yeah,
apart from his mum, and then he went like that to call him.
Yeah, insanely. I mean, the payoff, Jungle Boy v Christian. I mean, Jungle Boy's got reason to really want to murder him at this point. But what was really interesting about this is Luchasaurus being presented how he was.
Yeah.
Which I honestly, what I love about wrestling is when things shock me, and maybe it's me being stupid, but I just didn't even know last week happened. I didn't think this was Luchasaurus. I don't know why. I
thought it was Luchasaurus, but I thought it was just going to be Luchasaurus as he was. I didn't think it was going to be like his music, his look, everything about it seemed different.
The music, the look, everything about it was just
It reminded,
amazing.
to be honest, what it reminded me of was early stages of Kane.
Yeah, it was Kane-like. It was Kane-like.
And I love that because early Kane is like one of my favorite characters of all time. So,
yeah, and
that's what it reminded me of. And with the choke slam at the end as well, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And we've already mentioned on this show so far is that AEW have great matches, but actually we had a squash match here, which was perfect.
And I think sometimes this is a perfect place for it.
What a showing of Luchasaurus. And that's my top mark is just the presentation of Luchasaurus, which blew me away. That honestly is one of my main, like, even with the whole hour of blood and guts, Luchasaurus still stands out as like a big moment. I was like, wow, I was very impressed with how he looked. And this is a kind of side path on the storyline I didn't think it would go. I assumed Luchasaurus would be on Jungle Boy's side, and we'd have some Luchasaurus Christian matches until Jungle Boy came back, and then Jungle Boy would come back. But to do this is really interesting. And I guess this is how you get. I mean, Jungle Boy, without doing anything, has become the biggest babyface in the company almost, because how can you not be completely on his side when he comes back?
Yeah.
Like, not only has Christian betrayed him, and
that's the interesting thing in the build up to this. I think I expected the Christian turn at some point, but I didn't necessarily expect Jungle Boy. I didn't expect Luchasaurus to turn as well, and especially not like this and this quickly. So
this
I think
dark.
it's really
how dark was he? Like, he's always been like a bit of a
fun dinosaur.
Yeah, just been.
I really like.
But he has the look and the physique and even the wrestling style to kind of suit this role. So I think this is perfect. It's actually. I say perfect as if like it's just something I would not have expected. So they've gone above and beyond my expectations of how they've presented this, and I honestly cannot wait for Jungle Boy v Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy v Christian, whatever. I don't know how long Jungle Boy's out for, or if he is actually injured, or whether it's probably not a real injury, is it? It's probably
I think he has got a bit of an injury.
He does.
I think so.
Because he was a concerto, wasn't it? Is why
I think they did it to write him off for a little bit, because he has got a bit of it. I don't think it's a serious one, but he was working with an injury apparently before.
Yeah.
So,
I am with you now. I now look forward to seeing Christian every week. His
promos were amazing, and now he's got a destroyer with him as well, which makes it even better.
Yeah, it's just a Christian just works better as a heel. So yeah, I'm really into this and look forward to see what happens. Can't wait to see Luchasaurus. All of a sudden, I've never said that before, really.
No, those two things really stood out on the show. The rest of the show was all right, and I think we'll just get through these things sort of quickly. We had.
Go on.
I was going to say, it opened up with Orange Cassidy and Ethan Page having a match, and Orange Cassidy had new music as well, which was quite cool.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Do you know what? After all of the Forbidden Door stuff, it's quite nice to just see two AEW guys in a singles match.
This match felt like a reset with that.
Yeah, I was like, this is more like.
We hardly got anything. All right, we got one thing from the Young Bucks, which we'll talk about in a minute. But other than that, it was very much just, okay, this is our talent now. Let's focus on it. And I like that.
Yeah.
Orange was one of the stars of Forbidden Door for me. His match with Will Ospreay. I said on my review, it's personally my match of the night. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you, actually. I think it's match of the night, yeah.
And again, he had a good match here with Ethan Page. Nothing special, but I like the thing with Lambert at the start, and then teased it into the match, and he took the orange juice off of him and just started drinking it in the match.
Spat it in his face.
And then he won't beat him with the
So
orange
we
punch. And the body
surprised
slam.
by the finish, a body slam. I
Yeah,
know
he
he
doesn't-
got 2 orange punches in,
Yeah.
Superman, whatever they're called, but he hit a body slam to finish the match, which was
Yeah, I don't think he normally does that, does he? But yeah, it was good, and it was a decent match to open the show. It wasn't anything to like crazy, but like we had the crazy stuff at the end of the match and that promo and bit new presentation of Luchasaurus as well. So we didn't need it to be mad, but this was just a good match.
Yeah, it's just good to
and good to see Orange kind of pick up a bit of momentum after that.
Yeah,
as well, because he obviously lost at the pay-per-view, but shone, and then he gets a win here to sort of get his momentum going again, which I liked.
Yeah, I agree. Then we had the Luchasaurus stuff, but the next segment we haven't spoken about yet is there's an interview backstage with Scorpio Sky and Wardlow. And Wardlow was basically saying, bring every member of American Top Team and I'll destroy them all. So they've got a street fight match for the title
next week.
But obviously we're going to get all of America's Top Team involved. So it's going to be another Wardlow against everyone match.
Yeah.
Type. I mean,
it looks like it.
How do you feel about that? We've just seen that.
Yeah.
I would rather just have Wardlow and Scorpio Sky in a match. But
the thing is, they're going to get involved anyway. They can't resist it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to see. Thing is, I don't really want to see Wardlow lose, but I also don't want to see him beat up 20 guys or whatever. I know it's not going to be 20 guys with Scorpio Sky, but yeah. I don't really know. I don't know what they're going to do here. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's just a bit. I just want to see him in a one-on-one match. Maybe I'm, and maybe there's obviously a storyline here they're going to tell, but yeah.
After that, we got. So we had the Acclaimed and Gun Club come down, and they were going to face Danhausen, but he was going to find some mystery tag team partners. Nice little rap from the Acclaimed. It wasn't anything special. It's just a little one on.
No, his actual last couple have been pretty basic, actually.
Yeah, I did notice as well. They didn't do the Gun Boys didn't do their bit in the wrong place thing that I've been bored of. Anyway,
oh yeah,
so I was actually glad about that. And then, Danhausen was like, I found some pretty good wrestlers as my partners. When he said they're pretty good wrestlers, I was like, I bet it's FTR. And it was. And FTR can do comedy as well.
The pop they got when their music came on was, like I mentioned it, it's like, as big as I've ever heard them get. FTR is incredible. I was, well, bloody hell, they are really over.
And then they had a really fun match here. Anthony Bowen's got up out of his chair at one point, tried to hit him with a crutch. He's now not injured. They did that spot. They always do that spot them, which was fun. I wasn't expecting it yet, but that led to the finish because he hit Colton Gunn over the head by accident, which meant Danhausen actually got the pin. And then he had an interesting after angle with Colton and shoving Bowens and a bit of infighting. And then Billy Gunn sided against his sons with the Acclaimed, which I actually like.
Yeah,
because he knows that the arse boys are a bit of a joke.
Yeah,
and the Acclaimed are actually good. So I don't mind that.
No, I don't either. I mean, he's kind of always been on the Acclaimed side. Like, it's kind of been the joke.
Yeah, scissor me down.
He scissors them, and he's like every suggestion his sons make, he finds ridiculous.
Yeah. So it's been coming.
We're getting a few between them, I guess. I mean, I know Krusty was a big fan of them together.
I didn't mind it, but I'm not a massive fan of the Gun Club guys. I like the Acclaimed. I'm not sure on the Gun Club.
Yeah, I do like the Acclaimed. So yeah, I mean, it's just a nice lower card tag feud, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Interesting. We kind of mentioned already. Jay Lethal wanted Samoa Joe for a match at Death Before Dishonor. That's the pay-per-view next month.
Yes.
We mentioned that. Jade Cargill then had a TBS title open challenge against Layla Gray. Who I don't really know who Layla.
Wasn't much to the match,
Gray
but
is.
the after angle was kind of interesting. I didn't expect her to get involved in this.
Yeah, pretty convincing win, straightforward for Jade.
She has too many of them, by the way. They need to give her some better challenges. I know they're building up their Athena.
Yeah, I did like Stokely's kind of promo after saying. Last night she gave opportunity to every woman in the locker room, and this woman doesn't even work here, and she took it. Like, I was like, fair play. That is a fair comment actually. And And then obviously you got Athena and Statlander run down, and then Gray, Layla Gray. Do you know who she is?
No, I don't have a clue
No?
who she is. But the fact that she got involved in this angle afterwards, I thought was quite kind of cool.
Well,
Because normally when they get a squash match, they just kind of roll out the ring and then the people get involved.
They have been trying to recruit a new baddie, haven't they?
And I like how Stokely kind of egged her on to do it as well. And Jade wasn't impressed by it. It kind of added to it. I liked it. The match itself, like I say, was nothing, was it? There's nothing to it.
Yeah. No, yeah, it wasn't much to it, but yeah, I mean, Cargill just remains undefeated. 34. I know, not 43.
And there's only one other bit, really, I think.
Yeah, is it just the Hardy Boys, the Young Bucks?
Yeah, so they had a promo and all their friends being injured. They didn't even have Brandon Cutler doing the camera, which I thought was funny. They had some intern doing it.
Yeah.
It was a good promo, and they basically offered a match to Yoshihashi and Go-To on Rampage. So that's a continuation slightly of the New Japan thing they're still going on, but that's fine. I'm sure it'll be a decent little match for them to win, and then they'll move on to something else.
Yeah. I don't have anything more to say to it than that. Yeah. Anything more to say to that. So I think that's it. I think we've covered all AEW for the week. It's a short and sweet one, but
yeah. Well, like I said, that
probably
half of it was the blood and guts match, and we could have spoke about it for an hour, but I don't want to go spot by spot. I like to talk about the main points of each thing. Yeah,
no, I agree. So if you have, as mentioned at the top, if you haven't already checked out our WWE weekly review, then check that out on podcast platform or here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Us on YouTube. We've got plenty of content on there, plenty more to come. Follow us on Twitter at Recharge Wrestle. We have a prediction league running. So the current predictions we have up are for Money in the Bank, WWE pay-per-view this weekend. Get involved with that, and we'll have every pay-per-view from AEW and WWE until the end of the year. And the winner can win a t-shirt of their choosing from either WWE or AEW. So definitely worth getting involved if you haven't already. And if you have, then just keep going because there's a lot to play for. We are halfway through the year. There is plenty of points to be won. So yeah, get involved with that. And we will see you guys next week.
Goodbye.